know about you, but I'm seeing this overwhelming amount of people being hypnotized right now. And I'm just asking myself, like, why is this? Is this the vaccine that's doing this to people? Or is it the chemtrails? Is it the toxins in our food? Is it the lack of nutrition in our bodies that is creating this mass hypnosis? For all of you that received the vaccine, I could care less if you did or not. But can you just tune in and ask yourself, are these thoughts my own thoughts? Or do I just believe what I'm being told to believe by the powers that be? Like, do your thoughts differ from the majority around you? Or do you fight because you feel oppressed? If you think exactly the same as the party in power, you have to ask yourself, are these my thoughts? Or am I being hypnotized by the ones who will take our power away and say that it's for our safety? Pray that the world awakens from this hypnotic state that I'm seeing, because I see us walking towards this cliff collectively. And the whole purpose of being here in human form is to create harmony within diversity. We can't do that if we cancel others for thinking differently than us, or going along with false promises that have no basis in reality. Point blank question for you guys. It's not about opinions. It's not about a popularity contest. We shouldn't be acting like we're voting for prom king or queen, okay? This is about our country, and it's about the fall of an empire if we don't make some very tough choices right now and actually stand together as the power of the people, stand for what it is that we truly believe in. If we desire connection and protection of our borders and safety and health of our children, then it doesn't matter if you don't like the person. Have you ever noticed you're not supposed to like your mother and father when you're growing up? They're not supposed to be your best friend. If your father's your best friend, he probably doesn't make you feel safe or keep you safe. We should have a healthy fear of the person that is leading us, that keeps us all knowing that when it comes down to it, that if there is a crisis, that the leader of our country should be able to talk to the other leaders in the world and not back down, be able to hold a conversation, not be intimidated. It doesn't matter if you don't like him. He is a far better leader. He did make our country, and he does have the ability to build a business, which ultimately our country is, back up from nothing. And that is what we need. I don't know about you. I don't know about what bubble reality that you live in where you haven't been touched by the economic decline of the last 4 years, but I know I have. I know that my child has been massively influenced by the disgusting programming that's going on in our schools. How confused are the children that you see around you? They're confused because there is no leadership in our country. There is no direction. There is no God. Nobody has a sense of purpose anymore. Everybody's just going along with the status quo and trying not to offend one another. Like, we have this attachment to being offended. We're all different, and we're here to create harmony within diversity. We can't do that if we keep trying to cancel everybody else. It doesn't matter who it is that you think should, come to your wedding, or it doesn't mean that you're voting for somebody that you like more. It's not a popularity contest. So please tune in, ask yourself these simple questions, and go from there. Were your businesses doing better in 2017, 2018, and 2019 than they have been for the last 4 years? Are your kids or the kids around you or yourself healthier now than they were in 2017 through 2019? Do you see people around you working together or fighting for what it is that they want? How many wars did we see from 2017 to 2019? How many treaties were actually, created to pull us out of a war that we had been in for over 20 years? How many of your loved ones that struggle with addiction have gotten better in the last 4 years? God, I pray that they have. But how many of your loved ones have become addicted to fentanyl, or have lost their lives, or have killed themselves because they can't handle where our country, where our world is going right now? What about the cost of living? How's your rent? Was your rent higher or lower in 2017, 2018, 2019? About your mortgage or your groceries? How much were you spending on an average for groceries in 2017 through 2019 versus now? What about the cost of gas? Gas was at an all-time low in 2020. I think it was like on average $2.09 versus the $5 on average that it jumped to in 2022. And how many government-funded agencies that actually help people have lost or had their financial resources lowered? And how confused have our youth become? Just ask yourself, what benefits do you see today that were created in the last 4 years? If you're living in some bubble reality where you're not touched by the economic decline, then you have no idea what's happening in our country. Take a trip to Springfield, Ohio, or Denver, Colorado, or how about Portland, Oregon, or San Francisco, California, or even downtown Phoenix. And you tell me that our country is doing better today than it was, then I challenge you to go to one of those cities that I just listed. Get out of your vehicle in the most dangerous part of town and go talk to those people on the streets. Go talk to those parents that are struggling with too low incomes to feed their children while they are trying to keep our children safe from the indoctrination of the public school system. So please don't come at me preaching from behind a screen, because I don't have time and I don't want to hear it. I am sorry that you feel such an offense within inside of your soul. But there is a bigger battle at stake right now. It's a battle for your soul. It's a battle for your spirit. Don't preach from behind a screen. Go and see for yourself. I recently did this in Marina Del Rey, California, and I went and I talked to the homeless there. And I wanted to film some of the interviews, but what I saw and what I heard, it was just too horrifying. Our people are dying out there while the rich get richer. But we are all connected, and it doesn't matter how much money that you have. It doesn't matter how much you ascend or how much you distance yourself from the people that you judge. We are all one. And while that person is sitting there on the streets, feeling the effects of what is happening to our country, while you turn a blind eye and keep walking by because you feel powerless to change it, or you feel like they have done something wrong so they deserve it. Have you ever read Job in the Bible? Do you think that he deserved it? It's time for a rise up of the power of the people. It's the age of Aquarius. That's what this time period is for. That's why we're seeing so much insanity. It is calling for us to stand together, to dissolve this ridiculous democracy that's just keeping us split in two. But together we rise. Divided we fall. So why do we have two different systems? Why are we allowing ourselves to be hypnotized by this insanity? The proof is in the answers to the questions that I asked you earlier. Can we really afford to trust the current power to do anything different than they have already done? I mean, we are sitting in a space that we've never seen before because we've never had two political parties that have already been in power. They've already shown us what they can do. But if this message challenges you, if it pisses you off, then you might be hypnotized. And your consciousness is trying to show you that the truth of you does not agree. Because truth and love need no defense. So what are you defending? Can any battle really be won when love is lost? I pray for us to ascend out of this insanity. So choose wisely, because it really does lie in our hands. I love you all, no matter what you believe.